Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid, and we are jumping back into our game with Late Age Mictlan, and it's turn 39, so we are one turn away from the horror apocalypse. And if you recall the end of last episode, we were worried about a Pythium throne rush. He had already claimed both the throne provinces he needed, none of which were really adjacent to me. But I'm going to make an attempt to stop it. So there's a good chance it ends this episode. So let's see. We have a message from Man. Greetings, neighbor. Indeed, Midgard has moved a force into our lands and has built up enough troops at his throne to halt our siege, but we will persist. We are not close enough to assist against Pythium. Yeah. And then a message from Mictlan. With Pythium potentially winning the game this turn, I just want to say this is probably the first time that LA Pythium has ever ascended to victory in the late age. The tribal councils of Mictlan are humble just to witness such a heroic achievement. In the event the game did not end because of last-minute and desperate measures by the peoples of Mictlan or Utgard, we will accept payment from other nations as your leaders see fit. So let's see how it goes. We have the traditional stuff going. We summoned a disease demon. Or no, we got attacked by a disease demon here. And this was not our doing. Utgard must have cast this at us. Okay, that's a bit annoying. Which province I was in? Okay, we send a lesser horror somewhere. That must be this one. How did this guy gets attacked by a Gortite horror? How does he get attacked by a horror? This is a horror assassination, which can usually only happen if you're horror marked. It can also happen in the apocalypse, but the apocalypse, like the cataclysm, hasn't started yet. So this is kind of bullshit. If any of y'all know how this happens, let me know. Because I don't think this is the cataclysm yet. This is one of the most, the strongest effects of the cataclysm, is your mages can just get attacked by horrors. Well, rip. So he dies, which is annoying. That's shutting down my Aussie production capacity. Okay, we only got one, which is annoying. And we didn't get a particularly good variety. If I got the, 3 of the belly maw horrors, it would have been better. So we didn't actually successfully raid this. This was adjacent to one of his throne provinces that we were going to attack. You would think we would want to cast this on the throne province he was attacking, but there's a problem doing it, is we could potentially kill some of his frontline units, and we need his frontline units to cause a rout before his Hydras hit us, because his Hydras will probably kill us. So anyway, that's why we didn't do it. And now we're going to jump down and see... here's our attack on Pythium. So this is his throne province, and we have our thugged out King of Rain here. With very, very minimal gear. Normally you need more protection on a thug. I probably should have given him the blood armor and had him script body ethereal, but I don't have many turns till they get there, and this allows me to get some other things off first, like liquid body. On this side, though, let's see what we've got. Okay, we have less Leo Campus than I thought. I thought there were like 40 or 50 of these. There's fewer. A fair amount of PD, it looks like 15 PD, not too much. More Hydras than I probably thought. And then here we've got a fair amount of these Serpent Cataphracts. And then in the back, we have Manuals of Water Breathing, which I've never seen anybody use so many of these, so that's kind of cool. I guess there's not real... I guess there's not like a real underwater powerhouse here. Now, where the hell... I know there's somebody else here. Oh, it must be this guy. Okay, yeah, this is his prophet. So what this means is if I don't lose this fight, I know his god's in the other province. If I don't win this fight, then... and Utgard doesn't win his fight, then indeed we are going to lose. I wasn't sure his prophet was here, but I thought it was. So that means he's going to claim this throne this turn. So Divine Blessing, Astral Shield, Foul Vapors goes up, which is interesting. Liquid Body. You know, looking at it, I probably should have put the other armor on him, but... Now, we have a lot of defensive buffs here, and I do have this Wraith Sword, which is going to go a long way to increasing my survivability. And we're getting hit some, but we're healing a fair amount too. So I'm at 24, 25, 21, 21. And these guys are closing in very slowly. You see the Hydras are super slow underwater. The Cataphracts are going to come in a bit faster, though. $25. So you can see we're basically stable. We're fatigue 0. Now pick up the speed. Watery Death. Now, I scripted this guy to cast spells, not to attack. And the reason is I do not want him closing in melee with the Hydras. If he gets in melee, he's probably going to rout. What I'm hoping is that the poison from the Hydras will cause these guys to rout, or me, I'll kill enough of them, that I'll basically cause a rout and win through that. Because if I get into melee with the Hydras, we're going to be in trouble. But you can see we're starting to get a rout now, so that's not bad. We've got some fish coming in, which is annoying, because we don't want any of his summons to increase the HP pool on his side. Okay, we're pretty HP stable here. But the Hydras are closing in, and I don't know... Okay. We have routed. I guess we got hit one time too many. So that's not good. So that means we're going to lose this fight. And the Hydras got in. Now, if we look at the Hydras, they're blessed. They have magic weapons, which means it would have gone through Body Ethereal. They also have pretty high MR. I didn't know they had a magic weapons bless. So, there's a good chance these guys would have just straight up killed me, and I definitely needed the other kind of armor on them. So, I probably should have done that. I don't know if I would have been able to win. I think it was, with this many Hydras and this few Leo Campus, I really needed more chaff to soak up the Hydra hit. So with this particular army composition, I don't know if I would have made it. But anyway, you can see I didn't, and we retreat off. The other thing is that their fear would have killed me if they came in, even if I was able to survive them. So I really needed a Flesh Eater. But I couldn't have a Flesh Eater and a Wraith Sword. And the Wraith Sword was my source of reinvigoration, which and damage healing, which I desperately needed. So I could have then put on... There's basically not really many other items that are going to cause you to go berserk when hit, which is what I would have needed. It was a little bit like Mission Impossible. I think the only thing I could have really done... Yeah, I don't know. I think just having better armor would have increased my odds a little bit, but probably not much I was going to do here. Just from the fear of the Hydras is really the killer. And I don't think there was enough other stuff to get the Hydras to rout before they closed in melee. So that was that. There's a battle with Utgard in Midgard, but this is just killing PD. I guess we'll watch that. Vans run in. Looks like they'll make contact about the same time as his melee troops. What are they doing? Oh, they're firing. If you're in this setup, you probably don't want to use your javelins, because you do want them to kind of come and hit the same time your melee troops do. Anyway, that works. Midgard is pinging man here. So we can see man has his god. His god's probably an enemy dominion. Okay, it's not very high enemy dominion, though. It looks like he must be planning to put a storm up. God, these guys can be such high air mages. I really like these mages. They can be air 4 with power of the spheres and being an air mage, and then you obviously are going to want to set them up in communions, and they'll get to be even better. So, yeah, really cool nation. Okay, coming down here, we have a battle with Pangea and Satis. Okay, just PD. And then down here, a battle with Utgard and Satis. So Utgard has a big Doom stack, which he is going for a Pangean, for a Satisian throne. Okay. There is a battle here, and then there is a battle here. So Ulm is attacking me. Okay, he should win. This is just kicking me off of the Fort of Ulm. And then this is our battle with Utgard to try to take one of his forts with a throne in it. So unfortunately, his monolith has showed up, who is Earth 8, which is very, very high in Earth. He's got some nature gems too. This, I don't know, it's not really enough for Hal. It's one of the things you might think he might do. A pretty big mage core, a bunch of Gamherdings. But on our side, we have most everybody we need to I think to win. We've got this guy who potentially can Bloodlust. Because I think my Astral Mage died here. Who is going to be casting Bloodlust. So hopefully we get Bloodlust off. Okay, we have Divine Blessing. Did we get Mass Protection? There goes Mass Protection. Did we get Bloodlust yet? Okay. So, okay, somebody did cast Bloodlust. Nice. Now, this is why offensive blesses on Mictlan trump defensive blesses on Giants. Because you can see they're all blessed, but it doesn't matter. And they've got regeneration, fortitude, attack, magic weapons, magic resistance. None of that matters when these Aussies are hitting you. Now, this monolith is going to be a different business because he has 37 protection now, so I don't know how this is going to go. If we just look at it, we're going to have pretty good RNG to get through that. Really, you need a Smasher or some armor-negating weapon to kill these guys. Even really buffed up Sacreds are going to really, really struggle against monoliths. And we are killing a lot of these guys. Stellar Cascades is coming down, but it is not enough. Now, our army has dwindled some. I thought it was bigger than this. And we're just left with a few of these Scrotty. This one has a Wraith Sword, which is kind of cool. Not going to help it, though. Blade Wind coming out very strong. All those many projectiles against reasonably low protection. I'm going to have a hard time dodging that with luck, because there's so many projectiles and therefore so many chances to die. The walls have been cleared, and it's just this monolith, so let's zoom in a little here. 329 HP, that is a lot. And it's ethereal too, and we do not have magic weapons. This is not good, guys. This is not good. Gifts from the heavens. Ooh, shit. Okay, now we're actually kind of okay set up to deal with gifts from the heavens, because we have luck. Oh, shit, that really hurts. So we can dodge some of the damage. Now, we are hitting it occasionally, and it can't regenerate, so we're from 323 down to 319. Oh, it hit itself. So that might be a way that it will die, actually, is if it keeps Gift of Heavening itself. It's going to be very expensive in terms of lives of Ocelotos, but it's possible. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick up the speed here. God, Blade One really hurts. Oh man, Blade One just makes me cry here. It hurts so bad. Rip all my sacreds. Feels bad, man. Okay, these guys flying up are retreating. Which honestly is probably what I would be doing if I were here. Screw this battle. Oh man, monoliths are so strong. The reason his protection's so high is it's really high to start with, and he gets +9 from Earth Magic. Okay, let's go fast forward here. Just a few brave jaguars left behind. Okay, we had Gifts of Heaven hit himself again. He's down to 120. Maybe it's possible. It has a chest wound. I don't know where its chest is, but it's wounded. Maybe that's a crack in the rock. And my guys have not routed. Brave. Still 98. Now that my guys are closer to him, if he keeps casting Gifts of Heaven, it's going to be more likely to hit him. Blade Wind, come on! Cast Gifts of Heaven again! I mean, it's probably not going to matter, because if depending on whether Utgard was successful, he can, the game's probably still over, but, you know, okay, we hit him again. Another Gifts of Heaven. Yes! Rip God of Utgard. Now, that was expensive, but it worked and his god's dead. We only lost 150 sacreds. That's pretty expensive. But you can see we just murdered his army. I mean, this was a pretty big army. We destroyed it, though. It was a stupid monolith. Anyway. That has been dealt with now, though. So, let's scroll down and see if the game is over. Ah, True God has ascended. Slither, the Merchant of Souls, the Mighty One, of words of power, the Master of Rain, the great ruler of Pythium, has led his people to victory. So Pythium won. So Utgard was not successful. Now, Utgard should have had a better chance at taking this than I had at taking mine. Because A, he has Flesh Eaters and Regeneration, and you kind of need both of those to have an effective thug. And I couldn't even put both of those on mine because I would lose the Wraith Sword. So I don't know how he lost this, but yeah, this is a bit sad. I expect more. I mean, this was honestly, he should have been planning to take this the whole time. This is basically his throne, and Utgard can totally go underwater. They have water access. They have really good thugs, so there's no reason he couldn't send like 3 Scrotty with Flesh Eaters and Vine Shields underwater, and Hydras are gonna get like murdered by those guys. Well, I mean, you have to give them some armor too, but yeah. And maybe a little bit of poison resistance. But you could totally kit these guys to deal with Hydras and anything else. The only thing that might kill them is like mass water elementals, but Pythium can't do that very easily. So that's it. The game is over. We can see. At the end, I'm looking pretty big. Pythium is actually not that big. They're like very solidly medium size. And you can see they just, through owning a little bit of this stuff, they were able to just squeak out this throne and this throne, and then make a quick run up into the lake here and take this one. So, yeah, they did it. They pulled off a victory. Now, you can't be hateful at all when Late Age Pythium wins, because, again, it is a very, very weak nation. But they managed to pull it off. They totally managed to pull it off. This is a kind of weird game, though, in that the who's going to win is going to be kind of random. A lot of it's decided by RNG, just in terms of how close you spawn to different thrones. Like, the thrones nearest me were a level 1 and a level 2, and a level 1, 2 level, 3 level 1s, 4 level 1s. All the closest thrones to me were level 1s. The closest thrones to Pythium were level 3, level 1, level 2, level 2. Or no, level 1 and level 2. So, this was a little bit of a reach for him, so it was a smart move for him to go try to take it. But, yeah, I mean, if we just look at ones that were close to him, so 3, 2, so that's 5, 6, 7. So if he just took all these, he would win. Right, but there's really almost no way for me to get a throne victory in my starting spot from like this turn. Level 1, I would have to get 1, 2, 3. So this one I guess I could get because I'm Mictlan. I can go aquatic. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess if I got all those, I could win. I would have to be pretty big, though. That would be like almost half the map to really control all that. So, yeah, I mean, it kind of is decided by RNG, just in starting next to a level 3 throne and then near level 2s. But Pythium doesn't really have water access, and he managed to get himself into the water and take those as a priority. So that was pretty good. Clearly, he was thinking about where the thrones were. And I wasn't really thinking about that quite as much. Yeah, honestly, Utgard should have killed these guys. I don't know what's going on. But, he probably also could have Monolith dropped them, too. And Hydras, like, you can't route a Monolith, and a Monolith is going to kill Hydras, I'm pretty sure. All you do is throw, like, a poison resist. If it probably has poison resistance already. Let's see. Yeah. You can't route them, so they're immune to fear. Pretty sure you just Monolith drop on here. Or you kit your thugs right and kill them. But that's kind of how the game rolled. If this didn't end the game, then it would have just been which horrors attacked which thrones and who could defend theirs. So, yeah, I guess that's how it ends. What are some kind of closing thoughts I have on the game? One is my Mictlan build was kind of wrong. I have way too much turmoil. You need some... I think you need to be like almost neutral turmoil, so you either have to go a different bless, or you have to sack some of your scales a little harder, like different ones. But I think you need to be at least neutral, maybe even order 1. But that would be probably the first thing I would change. And that would have given me a lot more sacreds. I couldn't really help getting dogpiled early. That kind of limited my ability to fight. Ulm was a kind of good target. Somebody had to kill Ulm before vampires were running around everywhere. I really hate fighting vampire or immortal units, so there was a lot of good reasons to attack Ulm. But on a game this short, I don't know if that was a great thing. I think if this game went longer, and I wouldn't have done this desperate thing. I mean, we put the throne settings on 7. Like, it was going to be 9 when we were first setting up the game, and we switched it to 7, so there was a chance to win before turn 40. And indeed, it did happen. But like, this is way too low of a throne setting to have a longer game, or a fun, in my opinion, like a more fun game. Because, like, it's kind of shitty that somebody can win without bordering most of the people. Like, Pythium wins, and he doesn't really border me. Like, he almost kind of bordered me just because I was raiding Ulm. So, yeah, when you can win without really bordering everyone, like, I guess he kind of attacked Satis. Like, he kind of has a border with Man. I guess he kind of... No. Like, he doesn't really border Man. I guess Man didn't feel like he could make a play at this throne. I mean, kind of. I don't know. I mean, he's decidedly not huge. Not much bigger than anybody else, and he won. Which is that's kind of how throne rushes work, but that's just not how I like to set up a lot of my games. I like it where you have to be kind of the biggest, plus have the right thrones to win if you're going to do a throne rush. But it's a weird balance, because if you make the throne requirements too big, then it's kind of like everybody's given up by the time you end up getting all the thrones to win, and that can be a little demoralizing. But I'm kind of okay with that, actually, like a little bit towards that end of the spectrum. Like, the other frustrating thing is you spend several months playing this. Like, we probably spent like 4 or 5 months playing this. And for me, I knew it was coming, so I got to put in like a last-ditch effort to prevent it, which was kind of fun. But some of the people, like, they probably didn't really even find out or have time to react. So it's like, the game ends, and there's not really much of anything they could have done. Like, what's Midgard really going to do? Like, if he didn't have underwater gear? Yeah. The other weird thing is, like, having underwater thrones, like two 2-point underwater thrones in 2 lakes. That was pretty impactful. Yeah, because I guess I'm one of the only actual underwater nations, but the lakes aren't really close to me. If the lakes were close to me, that would have been awesome. And if the game went longer, I would definitely try to take control of the lake systems. But for now, I kind of needed my capital to produce non-aquatic dudes. Since to even get to the lake systems... Though maybe that would have been a better play. Make aquatic dudes, try to bum rush this guy like I'm going for his throne, and then make a break for the lake. My Bliss is not terribly good against poison units like Hydras. I will kill the Hydras, probably, depending how many there are and whether they rout me with fear. But, yeah, the poison's pretty good. It will kill all of my units after the battle. I do like the luck. The very killy bless combined with luck. I think it was a good bless. Maybe can ditch some of the plus attack in favor of, like, get a slightly lower on the fire bless, and then have better order. I think there's other blesses you can do too. I do like this. I think it's very playable. And let's take a look at the score graphs as a final part. So, provinces, here's me, and I'm the clear leader in provinces, which means if the game went later, I would have had a pretty good shot at winning. Where's Pythium? Wait, no, that's Tis. So Pythium's in a solid second place, but there's kind of like 3 of them that are in here. So looking pretty good. I don't think he would have been like Pythium didn't really fight any battles hardly to win all this. So I think this is a pretty fragile province count because I think if anybody was really warring him, I don't think it would be this high. For forts, we can see I'm the highest again. And yeah, where's Pythium here? Pythium is like the lowest in terms of forts, which usually means you're not doing that good. For income, I'm actually the highest, which I find surprising because I trashed all my scales. Pythium here for income is very middle of the road. For gym income, I'm the highest as well. And Pythium is very middle of the road. Midgard's actually pretty solid on gym income. For research, we are very middle of the road. Satis is very low. Satis is kind of like a bottom outlier. Utgard actually has the best research. Interesting. Man is actually pretty good on research. We can see, you can kind of tell what happens here with Man. He was researching a lot, and then I guess he got some of the key stuff he thought he was going to need, and then he kind of rolled his mages out with his armies. I assume that's what happened. Because he would have, you can see his line was, he was going to cross Utgard if he just sat at home and researched. Dominion, we can see, where are we right here? We probably have the worst, yeah. Have almost, no, actually we're tied with Satis. We both have almost no Dominion. For Pangea, oh wait, not Pangea. For army size, we can see we're the clear leader. That's why people didn't really want to attack us once we got going. We just hide everybody else. I kind of want to look at my... Yeah. A lot of this is slaves, so we can't really see sacred production. But I'm pretty sure my sacred graph would be more jagged, but not really that bad. Pythium, hardly any army. And then Ascension points, can see Pythium jumped ahead and won at the very end. So those are the score graphs. I would say like the most striking things to me, I didn't think I was that far ahead in terms of provinces or income. I thought I was in a solid, like, mid-play. Like, I would have thought, like, for province count, I would have been, like, right in here with the top players. I didn't think I was, like, way ahead. For income, I'm, like, very solidly in here with everyone else. But I would have never thought I would have been the income leader. I would have never thought that. And then I never thought I had this... Actually, forts I can kind of see. I did build a lot of forts. Gym income, I'm not super surprised I was pretty far ahead. Research, not super surprising. So, I think if this game went later, especially looking at the score graphs, I think if this were like a normal game, I'm pretty sure I would have won. My blood economy was going. There's things I would do differently if it were going to go later. I stopped building research items about 7 or 8 turns ago. And I would have gone farther into research, and I probably would have made a play to get Construction 6 sooner. So that with Construction 6, it would have opened... Like, I would have prioritized it over a fair number of other things. Maybe not Alt 7, but maybe. Because with Construction 6, with the Fire Nation, we can start getting out Lightless Lanterns, and that's a big deal. So, I probably would have done that in a longer game. But getting Alt 7 was really nice for mass protection. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I think it was a fun game. The Diplo was kind of interesting. The thing I would definitely change is the throne settings. What would be fun... First of all, having a level 3 and the level 2s makes it actually less fun. Because it's really... It gives you a very... it can give you a very unbalanced throne distribution on the map, where it matters too much where you start. I think what would have been more fun is doing, like... 1 level 2 throne per player, and then saying you need like 4 of them to win. The nice thing about level 2 thrones is that that you usually can't take them with initial starting armies. So they often are kind of contested. So who can get an army to take one first? Which is kind of nice rather than it being able to just bull roll. Like with the level 1 throne, a lot of times it's like who gets there first. And that's not terribly fun. But with level 2s, it's like who can have a pretty strong army first to take it. So I think that is probably more fun. And then how many you put, like a really good normal setting for thrones is you do 1 level 2 for however many players are in the game, and then you add 1 to that, I think. And then you say the number of thrones you need to win is the number of players in the game divided by 2. So if you had 10 players in the game, you would need 5 thrones to win, and you can do 11 thrones. Or maybe it's like 10 and you need 6. Yeah, those are probably well, I'm trying to remember actually. Yeah, I think either of those could probably work. Probably 10 thrones and you need 6, or 10 thrones and you need 5, or 11 and you need 6. Maybe 11 and you need 6. All those are kind of in the range of like fun. And the nice thing about them all being level 2 is it distributes, because as far as the game knows, it puts a throne here. It's not going to put another throne like super close by it. Like it's not going to spawn a throne here. So there's not like a chance you spawn with all the thrones near you, because it knows there's a throne here. It's not going to put them near other ones near it. But it's not going to say like this is a level 3. Let's make sure to place the other thrones farther away. So you get really weird distributions when you just put like Pythium just happened to start near a ton of the throne points. And I, by nature of not starting next to Pythium, started away from all the throne points. Like everything near me is a level 1. I guess this is the closest level 2. This is not like, here's my capital. This is not a throne that like I can legitimately contest. I did. It was the throne I did try to contest, but it's not one that's like something I could really go after. Like neither is this one. This one's so far away from my capital. For me to take this, you know, like all the thrones Pythium took were pretty close to his capital. Except for, well, this one's kind of not that far. But anyway. Or is kind of far. But so that's how the game went. I had fun though. I kind of accomplished my mini objective of killing Ulm. I think I was set up to be in a good position as the game went. I had a good final fun battle versus Utgard, and we got to see the monolith gift of heaven itself to death. So I don't know if I can really complain. It was a fun game. I liked playing with these guys. And I think hopefully we do a blitz or something in the future. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have thought about playing Mictlan. It's a fun nation. You are a bit handicapped in terms of scales and therefore research and things like that. But I think it's pretty fun. You also have limited map mobility. And yeah. Thank you guys. See you next time.